Get the cream, precious metals or the crypto things. Your bars are light like the one that's on a Smith machine. But my Maxwell and I ain't speaking about the pretty wings. Watch your potty mouth.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Wrestling mogul Tony Khan loses his mind on Twitter. Let's get right into it. Tony Khan decides he's going to respond to a troll comment from USA Network and end up getting himself rolled by his own audience. Oh my God. Let's let's get into it. So USA Network, they tweeted out what was the cage match rating to a statement from Raj Giri that talked about Seth Rollins versus Jinder Mahal in the NXT tournament finals. What was this, about maybe 12 years ago? It was a long time ago. And just as a joke, USA Network tweeted out what was the cage match rating. So, Tony Khan, he tweets out January the 9th, 2024, 4:35 p.m. at the end of a long work day. He tweets out a double standard. Hook, 28-1 record, on winning streak, calls out the champ. A logical challenge sparks online outrage. Jinder has lost every single match he's in for the past year. Immediately gets a title shot. Where is the rage? AEW Dynamite tomorrow on TBS. He is then immediately met with a deluge of negativity. And you know we're going to get through that negativity. But that wasn't the only tweet. At 4:36 p.m., he tweets out a moral victory for USA is one win more than their world title challenger Jinder Mahal has had in the past 364 days. Because it's been literally a full year since he won a match. You really put AEW in our place, getting Jinder Mahal in a big match on your TV show. Do it more often. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. We're going to get into this. I've been licking my chops for hours to get into this. I don't know which one to do first, but let's do the one where he talks about Hook's record. For starters, Hook has won a lot of matches, sure, but, you know, Hook is essentially a high school freshman being thrown in the middle of the Super Bowl. You know, nobody believes Hook can win. Hook and Jinder Mahal have the same likely outcome despite their kayfabe records, okay? The likely outcome of both matches is exactly the same. That the champion is going to win. People don't want young Hook thrown, you know, on the grill. They want him to kind of be steadily moved upwards. That's all I asked. You could have did this 2 years ago. You could have steadily moved him up, and then he'd be in a position right now where he could be a legitimate challenger. But Jinder Mahal, of course, I said it. I went through all that on Raw. He's no logical challenger for this belt. But at least he's a former world champion. At least he won a world title before, for Christ's sake. But here's some of the responses to young Tony Khan's tweet about Hook and Jinder Mahal. You worrying about the rage involving Jinder Mahal instead of the outrage about Chris Jericho, a sexual harasser in your workplace, is the real problem. Don't... Here's another one. Don't tweet Jinder Mahal ever again in your life. Everybody is so protective of Jinder Mahal all of a sudden. Worry about your women's division and give them opportunities. Another one sounds, you sound like a child, brother. Do you? Another one says, it's so crazy that this is the CEO of a wrestling company. This is embarrassing. And this should be the least of your concerns. Are you planning to do anything about Chris Jericho? Oh, this Chris Jericho thing is nothing but a body blow. I'm going to try to not turn this into 60 minutes of everybody asking him about Chris Jericho. So I'm going to only mention the really good ones that mention Chris Jericho. Every time I think you can't be more pathetic, you get more pathetic. Thanks for inspiring more Tony Khan puppet videos from my channel. Yours cringe sustains me. Oh, there's puppets? Oh my goodness. Put some respect on Jinder's name. Are you really tweeting about this? Are you stable? No, he's not. Oh, no, he's not. You're not wrong, but every time you get online and publicly display how much WWE bothers you as the owner of its rival company, you make AEW look inferior by comparison. Every single time. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it because they know you'll react to it. That's exactly why they did it. That's exactly why they did it. What are you talking about? The only reason you would even say anything about that is if you knew that you were going to get to Tony Khan. And he's so dumb that he jumped right into it and then tried to use it as a marketing opportunity for AEW. What is this guy thinking? Oh my goodness. Oh brother. A double standard. You call out Vince the sex pest past when he was removed from any creative control and day-to-day work. You protect a sex pest with an NDA because you need him to try to get your company off the ground. Oh, that's an ugly one. Another one said, you're starting to crack, man. Get some sleep. Dude, why are you tweeting something like this? That's unprofessional coming from you, since you're the CEO of a company. You never see Vince tweet stuff like this. Not even Triple H will tweet something like this as well. That's unprofessional and pathetic coming from you. He outside on them breaks again. And that's a picture of a no doubt AI Tony Khan with stacks of powder and what was like pieces of chalk in his hand. I have no idea what that's about. All right, here's another one. It involves Chris Jericho, for the record. I'll tell you what a double standard is. CM Punk getting smear campaigned by your entire locker room until he got fed up, verbally bashed your EVPs during a conference. They storm in his locker room. He defends himself and you suspend him. Jericho manipulates a woman into going to his hotel room and could have potentially physically assaulted her, and you do nothing. You say nothing. You're weak, feeble, incompetent, and you're not cut out for this. Ooh. Here's a more logical response. Why do you even care, though? Instead of whining about the other company online, just focus on yours. And maybe you could book good enough to get 1.5 million more than once every 6 months. Oof. They got 4 million viewers. You ain't heard? Per week. You ain't heard? I'm not going to get into that right now. Gender isn't an NDA merchant. Well, we don't know that man's history. We don't know nothing about that man, but I would imagine he doesn't. Here's another one. With respect, MJF walked out on the company in 2022 after a loss to Wardlow, slanders you in a promo, comes back, has a group win a casino ladder match for him, beats Wheeler Yuta, and then beats Jon Moxley to win the world title. So 2 wins after leaving the company is okay. Before that, MJF had 1 win against CM Punk and losses to Wardlow, CM Punk, and twice to Shawn Dean. So is it about the story or the win-loss record? I have no idea. And I wish I hadn't read that. That was way too much, and that was way too many people trying to take this thing seriously. This is mock material. You don't engage with this on any logical level. This dude's being a nut job. You know? He's being nuts. You say stuff like this. You need hugs, Tony, not drugs. And by hugs, I mean the real ones. Not the ones you force on all the so-called game changers. Real hugs. Sensitive thugs. They all need hugs. Keep gender's name out of your mouth, Mark. Oh, God. They're trying to hinder the gender. Some people are mean, man. They gotta be. Come on. Razor blade in one hand, $5 bill in the other hand. Chop, chop, enjoys his White Rush, then tweets. Damn. Oh. Oh, my goodness. One company championed some nonsensical ranking system while the other one never claimed to have one. Now put your phone down and fear for your life. Oh, that's ugly. Well, at least they dropped that title ranking thing. They dropped that. They got rid of it. So I'm not going to beat them up for they abandoned it. I figured they would abandon it, but they ended up getting rid of it. And come on, cut on some slack. My guy, you are the last person to speak. You'll have women lose #1 contender matches for the title, then have them have a title match the next week. Maybe there isn't rage because we aren't seeing the same formula for the 4th week straight. Well, that is true. I think it was Willow Nightingale, wasn't it, that she lost like 2 straight #1 contenders matches, and then she still got a title shot anyway? And I don't think the only point about that is it makes no sense to put her in a #1 contenders match. She's going to get a shot anyway. That really doesn't make sense, but okay. We're not going to get into anybody trying to logically explain this because it doesn't matter. Someone drug test this dude. It's crazy how the drugs thing is really going. You know, it's really starting to grow legs. It's starting to grow legs now. People are not even doubting it anymore. Yeah, but Jinder Mahal is the greatest champion of all time. And any other wrestler, I would agree with you, Mr. Khan. P.S. Sign Sheldon X Benjamin for the vibes. Sign Sheldon Benjamin for the vibes. Hey, I agree with that last line at least. For the vibes. Get some sleep, Tony. Again, worry about Dynamite and your 850,000 viewers. That's a lot of viewers. I'm not even gonna hold you up. That's a lot of viewers, man. Come on. That's more than like a Tubi movie, you know. Gender segment drew a rating of 2.15 million viewers. You wish all of your shows combined could do that well. Well, clearly that's The Rock. You know, nobody's going to truly believe that Jinder Mahal bumped that rating that far. Come on. It was The Rock, but it's fun to meme. I don't want to turn WWE fans into those idiot AEW fans who think people like Ali and Riho are a draw because some segment that involves them or they came after some big segment, all of a sudden they drew huge. It's like, come on. Let's chill. Let's chill on this. All right. Okay. Eric Bischoff calls him a clown by just tweeting out a clown emoji. Oh my God. Oh no, Tony Khan responded. No, wait a minute. Okay. His response says, "Get out of my sight, you miserable has-been." And it's a picture of some old lady. I don't know what TV show this is from, but, okay, he's calling Eric Bischoff a miserable has-been. All right. And somebody responded, "You pay to have Eric on your TV show." Oof. Yeah. And somebody else responded, "Cook that Rey Mysterio fumbler." Bischoff was a gutless shill. Other people are reminding him that he paid him to have that miserable has-been on his show, which is, he's actually getting put over for this. Seriously, Tony, you becoming the next Russo. Oh no. Ooh. Don't say that. Please don't say that. Please don't say that. Oh my goodness. My word. Now Eric Bischoff getting attacked. For Christ's sake. What is going on here? It is chaos in this situation here. Jesus. So, one of Tony Khan's jock sniffers, I don't know, Tony Khan doesn't have a jock. So maybe tie sniffers? I don't know. Give me a minute to think about it. He responded, "You punched up to WWE the moment Nitro became a thing. You hung your hat on taking shots at the competition. And it was very effective for WCW. Why do you object to this?" This is a question towards Eric Bischoff. Not like Eric Bischoff is going to respond to the question. You know, Bischoff is smarter than this. He's not going to respond to this crap. Why in the world would he respond to that? And the issue is that actually he was winning when he did the, he was taking shots at WWE. He was actually winning at the time, but it was also very childish. And now in retrospect, I really didn't like all the back and forth between WCW and WWE. I never really thought the Nacho Man segments and all that kind of stuff were that funny when I was a kid. And I now fast forward through them. I really don't like them now. They come across as very mean-spirited. But whatever. Did Jinder Mahal himself respond to this? Or is this like a fan account? It looked like it might be Jinder himself saying, who the fuck is Hook? Poor Hook. He ain't got nothing to do with this, man. Come on, champ. Don't leave this man alone. People are begging Tony Khan to put his phone down. Begging him. In the past year, Jinder hasn't repeatedly avoided publicly answering if someone he's paying millions of dollars has ever been accused of any sort of misconduct. So he's not won at least one battle. Oh, my goodness. Oh, brother. Hire a PR person? Nah, fuck that. It absolutely rules that the owner of the second largest wrestling promotion is an old school message board shit poster through and through. Probably not good when you walk into, these boardrooms with very important people and they see that you're tweeting out nonsense. And they're probably thinking to themselves, like, what on earth is going on with this fella? You want me to do business with this guy? This is crazy. Like, I would certainly be like, bro, what is this? And don't give me none of that challenger brand horse shit. Every brand is a quote unquote challenger to somebody. Come on. The real double standard is how when TK shit posts, everyone cries. But when people from his main competitor do it, it's some great achievement. Let them fly, TK. Who from WWE is shit posting about AEW? It was USA Network that started this whole nonsense, and they mentioned Cage Match, not AEW and not Tony Khan. It was a subtweet for sure, but I'm not going to lie to you and say that if that's all that it took to get him to bite, he is off his rocker, bro. Brian Alvarez is it says, am I in a parallel universe? No. I don't think a parallel universe would have so much fun. In a parallel universe, I think Tony Khan would be the CEO and president, head of talent relations, head of creative, and box cutter for WWE, and Vince McMahon would, be running a young upstart promotion or something like that. Solid Monster posted a picture that says, you've been fined by Bryan Danielson. Wouldn't it be amazing if he did wake up in the morning to an email from Danielson saying, please come to my office at 8:15? Like we need to talk about your Twitter behavior. Here's another one. Message board posters understand moral obligation to point out when everyone gets upset about thing one and not thing two, which is worse, the same. Everyone else is too busy pretending to be offended that a wrestling promoter doesn't conduct himself like he's at a state dinner. No, we just need you to act like a person who runs a promotion. You don't have to act like you're, in the UN. Nobody asking you to use your soup fork. We're asking you not to be a dork on Twitter. Like, we're not asking you to wear your best wingtip shoes. We're saying stop being an idiot. Stop embarrassing your fan base. Which is exactly what these people are saying, that they're embarrassed. Oh, brother. You're a 40-year-old CEO, for the love of God. Stop being a message board weirdo. Look, you could take the boy out of the message board, but you can't take the message board out of the boy. You just can't do that. Just can't do it. There's no way. You can't escape it. People talking about Jinder's ability to outdraw MJF. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know about all that. Look, I'll just be reasonable about this. We don't have to be too ridiculous, all right? Just be reasonable. Dude, you destroyed Keith Lee, wasted Wardlow, and ruined the exploding barbed wire death match for all Americans who watched it live. not to mention allowed unexperienced talent in your company blindly enough to fire the largest ratings draw for your company. Did I forget Cody leaving? Grow up, Tony. Your money shows, but your fandom and lack of knowledge can't hide behind it. I don't even understand what language this was written in. Context clues, you know, gets me through it, but this is a pretty crazily written thing here. Jonathan Coachman has responded to this thing. Said, we used to get amused at fans who counted wins and losses like wrestlers earned them. Hell, if Vince wanted, I could have been world champion. But the storyline didn't support it. It's about the story, clearly, not wins in a predetermined space. Thought a boss would understand that. Yeah, that's... Look, why is everybody trying to take this guy seriously? He's trying to roll WWE, but they don't care. That's just the thing. Like, USA Network and everybody else is sitting back smiling and laughing at this, not scrambling to figure out how they're going to respond. This... You the only billionaire with no bitches. Sans bitches. This man is sans bitches. You are absolutely correct. Sans bitches. Oh my God. It's been 564 days since Malachi Black had a singles match in AEW. Snoop Dogg has had more singles matches. Oh, I'm sorry. Snoop Dogg has had more singles matches in that time. Wow. Ooh. Bryan Danielson getting 10% of the social media fine per impression. How many impressions does this thing have? 1.3 million views at time of recording, which is probably going to be up to like 2 or 3 million by the time you guys see this. You have Ric Flair getting more TV time than Ricky Starks. This is in all caps, by the way. I didn't want to scream it, but it's in all caps. Take his phone again. He's doing the thing at Bryan Danielson. They call him Danielson like it's his daddy or something like that. Like it's his chaperone. Get this man, please. Get this man. Somebody call him. Oh, my brother. Oh, have mercy. It does say a lot, though, that when the Jericho stuff was going on, he was very quiet on Twitter. And he tweets at this. This is what I mean by he walked right into it. You know, the Jericho thing was lighting the world on fire for 2 days, 3 days. He had no response. Some intern, some 22-year-old who probably forgot he even tweeted that and went to lunch at Subway and was sitting down eating some kind of BLT thing. And all of a sudden, his social media is blowing up, or his work social media is blowing up. And he's looking like, what is the hell going on here? And it's fucking Tony Khan, CEO of AEW, tweeting at him. Man, what, you couldn't pay me to shut up about that. I have to sign an NDA. I'll tell everybody, like, yo, I tweeted that and got Tony Khan all upset. Got him all in his feelings. Got under his skin. Another funny thing about this that's really humorous is the amount of people who are trying to tweet at Tony Khan, but they keep misspelling his name. So... his name is Khan, K-H-A-N, but there's a ridiculous number of tweets that spell Khan, K-A-H-N. So he can't see these because they're not tweeting them at the right person. And it's multiple accounts doing this, by the way. It's hilarious. The fact that it took dumb carny tweet from Tony Khan, K-A-H-N, to have Jinder Mahal actually tweet something in 7 months tells me all I need to know. Can we all stop this dumbass tribalism crap and enjoy the wrestling we like? Look, I don't know what the hell you're talking about here. All right? I don't know what you're talking about. The important thing here is that everybody has fun. That's what we're talking about, right? Tony Khan, K-A-H-N, the promoter, promoting via Twitter and got everyone talking about it. Promoter, promoting. Imagine that. Look, if you think he's funding AEW with Twitter X Cash or whatever the hell that Elon Musk is paying people in, then maybe. But he's not promoting AEW to anybody who doesn't know that it exists and probably don't already watch it. That's the weird thing. You think like he's promoting, he's being a promoter. He's promoting it to who? The people who already watch it? The people who don't watch it? Is there anybody who's going to see this and say, you know what? I think I'm going to give Tony Khan's AEW a try because Tony Khan completely rolled Jinder Mahal on Twitter. I'm sorry, he rolled USA Network. No kid is going to think that way. And no full-grown adult is going to think that way. Everybody's going to look at that stuff, cringe, laugh, and move on. With the push of a button, Tony Khan, K-A-H-N, has generated more interest for WWE and probably more money. Jinder Mahal is just sitting back laughing. Is it deliberate or self-sabotage? It's certainly deliberate. Whether it's drug-induced is probably the question. What is it? Is the guy just got to blow off some steam or something like that? Oh, boy. Tony Khan, K-A-H-N, once again being an embarrassment to the company he runs. There's so many of these Tony Khan misspelled name things. It's, it's too ridiculous. The worst part about Tony Khan, K-A-H-N, is this shit is going to scare off so many people and networks from giving wrestling a chance. Having strong completion is good, but Tony blew it. Tony blew it for AEW and for the rest of the industry. You know what? I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that people would not want to do business with a guy who is this childish. You know, that's the problem. It doesn't do him any good. You know, this kind of stuff only works if it furthers the brand or if it helps somebody. I have not seen that this helps anybody. I don't think this helps AEW. I generally just don't think that this helps AEW at all. TK going in on people on Twitter may not be conducive to setting the image of a serious boss, instilling confidence in his employees. But it definitely does seem to be in line what a crazy wrestling promoter would do, which is very entertaining. Well, that part is actually true. It does come across as very carny and over the top, which is very entertaining. Incredibly entertaining. Did Tony Khan, K-A-H-N, join TKO in their marketing department, and his first assignment was to get Jinder over using internet spite? I guess. Because Jinder Mahal is trending now for no apparent reason outside of this. You know, not because of what he did on Raw, but because of this. That USA tweet had nothing to do with Tony Khan, K-A-H-N, or AEW. So I'm struggling to see why he felt the need to tweet this. Like, bro, put down the phone, book your shows, and go about your business off to a good start. Don't fuck it up. It ain't off to a good start. That's the problem. It's off to a not so good start. You know, he needs to get attention out there. AEW is being slow. Not too many people are talking about it these days. Dave Shearer, can someone in AEW's inner circle please tell Tony Khan that win-loss records don't matter in a worked sport. Only the geekiest of the geeks care what Hook or anyone else's record is. People care about wrestlers that they invest in emotionally, not a cold statistic. Yes, this is very true, actually. It's quite true. Not a problem. You know, not a problem with that. That's true. Tony Khan is not a boss. A boss doesn't hop online and engage in things that fans do, or even reply to troll accounts. TK is simply a wrestling fan who had the money to create a company. The company needs a PR team and other staff that aren't wrestlers. You know what? That last line is actually kind of crack. he do need to hire some people who are not former wrestlers to handle things. Whether they need a PR firm or not, I don't know. But he certainly needs to stop doing what he's doing. You know, it's not working out. And he is absolutely a fan who had the money to create a company. That's always been the appeal for Tony Khan and his audience. His audience is, I'm just like you. I just have more money than you do. I like all the same stuff you guys like. I just have more money and can make it happen for you. You know, that's always been the appeal of Tony Khan, and it's going to continue being the appeal of Tony Khan because nothing has changed. He is his audience. He just has more money. Oh my goodness. He is his, that's all. Here's another one. This is very interesting. Tony Khan is not talented. Tony Khan is not creative. Tony Khan is not a writer. Tony Khan is the son of a very wealthy man. That is why his content is seen by anyone. If his dad was a pharmacist, the only time anyone would see his opinions would be on Meltzer's message board or cage match comments, and they'd tell him he's an idiot. You know what? If you went on one of these message boards, 4chan or whatever I used to frequent back in the day, and say, oh yeah, I'm going to push Trent Beretta, yeah, I'm pretty sure 100% of those people would have called you a dipshit, and all kind of memes would have been made over your grave. I don't see why it should be any different right now, to be quite honest. What makes it even funnier is all of the Tony Khan shoe polishers out there. Off the heels of all of this, I think now would be a great time for Tony Khan to bring back rankings and reestablish a system where everything has to be earned. Wins and losses should always be consequential to a wrestler's immediate trajectory, and this is a great time to hammer this back home following the Continental Classic. You know, where Daniel Garcia lost every match except one and still was in the main event of the next show instead of being booted to developmental, which was exactly what would happen if you lost every single game in football. You would get benched. Every quarterback in the NFL will probably get benched. Anybody in basketball, if you lose every single game, you're going to get benched. You're going to get downgraded. Your team's going to get the first draft pick. You know, you're going to get some kind of demerit. You know, like you don't get pushed for being a loser. Okay, so the Tony Khan Defense Force is out. So everyone is allowed to talk shit except Tony Khan. Every time this dude claps back, suddenly you people turn into saints and pure-hearted people telling him to put his phone away. Yet here y'all are tweeting about it at him all the time. I'd be pissed too if I were TK. Nobody's tweeting at him. Nobody. It's not like we goaded him into this. A USA Network intern right before he went on lunch tweeted out this nonsense and then went on about his day, went to sleep, probably got himself some pussy, and Tony Khan just let this thing fester under his skin until the end of his workday when he just had to respond. He just had to. He didn't have to. He was doing fine not responding. He didn't have to do this. This is a mess Tony Khan created all on his own. Anyone who thinks Tony Khan shouldn't fight back when shots are taken can kiss my ass. You don't get yourself... Let me start over, I'm sorry. Anyone who thinks Tony Khan shouldn't fight back when shots are taken can kiss my ass. You don't let yourself get bullied in this business. TK is too nice, but he stands up when he needs to, just like me. What's the worst that can happen? AEW is an all publicity is good stage. No, it's not. They just had one of their top guys accused of sexual harassment. They're not in a good place right now. Okay. Do your thing, boy. I ain't mad at you. Oh no. Mercedes Moné reportedly extremely disappointed with Tony Khan's treatment of her good friend Jinder Mahal. Oh, now they're best friends, are they? They're buddies now, huh? Mercedes and Jinder Mahal. Two people I've never seen in the same sentence, let alone the same picture. I'm surprised they even knew they worked in the same place all this time. Now they're good friends? And he didn't even say anything bad about Jinder Mahal except he lost every match, which isn't even his decision or choice. Oh, come on, Fightful. You shit kicking. What is going on, my guy? Stop this. It's funny how many wrestling fans will shit on the Kardashians and then get genuinely emotionally invested in Tony Khan versus USA Network social media guys' tweets. Nobody's invested in this. Everybody's watching the car burn. The car's already flipped over. We can't make it worse. We can only make ourselves more entertained by it. Tony Khan is a child of the internet wrestling community, and that is a very poor sign for him and that company. Oh my. Let's get to the end of this. Let's start to wrap this thing up. So let me get this straight. If Tony Khan says nothing, he's a pussy. And if he defends himself, he's a clown. Tribalism aside, what the fuck is the guy supposed to do? Stand back and let people just openly take shots? Enough is enough. Fine where USA Network mentioned Tony Khan. They just asked jokingly what was the cage match results for the NXT Championship match between Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins that took place 12 fucking years ago. You can ignore that. It's not like they were responding to all of Tony Khan's tweets with negativity and trying to poke the bear and trying to make him respond. It was a comment that did not mention Tony Khan or AEW. He was not added. He could have just completely ignored this. This is a desert storm all his own. You know what's real funny? Your so-called experts can never see the bigger picture and the method behind the madness. They just say idiotic things. Tony Khan added more visibility to the Hook versus Joe when it takes place. Plus, made it a topical point this week alone. No, people are talking about Jinder Mahal. They're talking about USA Network, and they're shitting on Tony Khan. No one's ever saying, hey, you know what, Tony, you're absolutely right. Maybe we'll watch AEW Dynamite on TNT at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. They're not saying that at all. Where's it on TBS? I don't even know what goddamn... I watch this show every week. I don't even know what network it's on. I don't even know what network it's on. It's on TBS. Get out of here. All right, please back off this thing. I hope the AEW talent and crew realize how special Tony Khan is as a boss. This man will go to war for you and stand with you. I respect that to no end. I thank God for All Elite Wrestling. Send Hook. Oh, is that so? Well, at least somebody does, for Christ's sake. Go for it. At least somebody praises God for something around here. It's actually sad that Tony Khan can instantly reply when someone criticizes a booking decision in his company or brings up a cage match rating, but bro doesn't even talk about sexual assault allegations at his company, nor the fact that someone brought an Israel flag to a pay-per-view. I didn't see an Israel flag at the pay-per-view, but then so what if they did? People bring flags all the time. They bring Mexico flags, Canadian flags, American flags, Jamaican flags, the Union Jack. They bring all kinds of flags. It wasn't like this was the first time somebody had ever brought a flag to a wrestling show. Who cares? Guess what? Palestinians have real problems. Not, oh my God, I saw a flag on a wrestling show. Did your face melt? It's like somebody shoved garlic up Dracula's ass or something like that. Get over it, you moron. You idiot. You child. This is going to be the last one. This one's pretty funny. So let me get this straight. WWE can take shots at AEW and Tony Khan, Corey Graves and Grayson making fun of I was afraid for my life. But the second TK takes a shot at WWE, it's shut up, Tony. Focus on your own product. Even AEW fans are telling them to shut up. Of course they are. Because you keep doing this. For starters, Grayson Waller is a professional troll. He's literally doing his job by trolling. Nobody takes what he says seriously. He's trolling. Corey Graves, same thing. Alright? That at least references Tony Khan directly. This tweet is not a direct attack on Tony Khan at all, or AEW. It got nothing to do with AEW at all. It makes fun of people wanting to know what the cage match ratings were for a match. That's all it did. He could have said how many stars did it have. It would have been the same thing. But cage match was a little bit more relevant considering Tony Khan just mentioned it. That's all. Even AEW fans are telling him to shut up. It's like, yes, because they're sick of this. They're embarrassed by it. But more so, could you imagine being Edge right now? Imagine being Edge right now, for Christ's sake. You just signed to this company. You barely know this guy. You know him a little bit. But he's perpetually cringe. He just did an interview where he was asked about one of your best good friends, Chris Jericho, sexually assaulting somebody. And he was wearing a babushka hat with big Mary J. Blige glasses. He looked like an absolute idiot. He looked like Humpty Hump. And he answered the question, and then didn't even answer the question correctly in a way that was satisfactory, so people was happy. And then just a few days later, he's got all the smoke in the world for Jinder Mahal getting a championship match. I couldn't imagine being a veteran in that locker room, bro. Especially if you're a veteran that's older than Tony Khan. If you're like Samoa Joe or Edge or Christian, or he's only 41 or something like that. So if you're like, even Jericho, he's got to be, well, Jericho's kind of cringe himself, so maybe not. But a lot of those guys have got to be like, they pulling their collars up over their faces when he comes around. You know, I know Danielson is probably like sick of trying to be the Tony Khan whisperer, the TK whisperer, and sitting him down and trying to massage him through why he should not be doing this stuff. It's bad it brings negativity to AEW. It doesn't bring positivity. And it doesn't boost ratings. It doesn't boost interest in the matches that you're trying to promote. I don't get it. And the TK Defense Force is not going to let up. You guys are not going to help AEW at all. You're not helping the company. You're just being marks. I mean, what is this shit? How dare Tony Khan defend himself and his promotion? These fake journalists and jealous former bookers make a living trying to rip apart a promotion that employs more of the boys than the girls. Remember Corny wrestled a Ninja Turtle? Did he ruin the business too? No, he just fucked over Rick Rubin's money. That's all he did. Smoky Mountain was run on a shoestring budget. It was run like a garage band. It wasn't like some huge major thing like Bischoff. Bischoff fucked over 2 companies, and so did Vince Russo. The only person in this entire situation that has not completely run a company into the ground is Vince McMahon. And he doesn't have anything to say about any of this crap. All right, Tony Khan is trying to pull the nose up on a 747 headed straight for a goddamn Gulf. He needs to focus on that and not talking about whether Jinder Mahal is worthy of a championship match. Who the fuck cares? It's a 10-minute match on a 3-hour show. People are going to forget about it in 2 weeks. Why'd you even mention it? Why bring it up? It doesn't matter. But we had fun. Thank you guys again, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Tell me what's worse than learning all that you led to believe was all horse crap.